One Lonely Farmer, and probably everybody here that's watching this is subscribed to One Lonely Farmer, but maybe some of the trolls are not. I don't know. Well, even if they are, it's good on them. These assholes anyway. Uh, what I want to talk about is that about a month and a half ago, it might be a little bit longer than that ago. William, is that you? Okay, William's here. Are you here? I thought you were going with Aunt Beth. She left. She went too fast for you. Went too slow for you. Where's your coat? Well, go get it out of Aunt Beth's house and put it on your body. Go. Get. Go. Get your coat. You can't be running around. It's too cold for that. Right? Go get it. Hurry up and then come back. That's right. Anyway, what I was saying was that about a month and a half ago, it might have been 2 months ago, might have even been at the end of last year, the Secretary of Agriculture and some of their other projectionists come on and say that, you know, farmers are going to do all the work that they normally do at the highest input prices that we've had in probably ever, and you're not going to make any money. So where does that put morale for us idiots that play in the dirt, for people that think we're trying to kill them? And where does that put us? What's it do for the morale? It does very little. I am not excited at all. You know, to be quite honest with you, I'm looking around here and I'm thinking, I'm gonna be 52 years old. I'm gonna spend my 52nd year on this planet working like I normally do with very little prospect of making money of any kind. That means if something breaks, am I going to have the money to fix it? If I need something to complete the harvest, am I going to have the money to get it? Am I going to go deeper in debt? Will I be able to buy anything? Will I be able to take that family vacation that I like to take at the end of the year or even before the spring starts? The answer to all those questions are we don't know and we don't care. That's basically what the projectionists and the Secretary of Agriculture has come out and said. It's like, well, you're going to feed us and you're not going to like it, but fuck you because you're going to feed us anyway because it's what you do. And it's like, well, now you're between a rock and a hard place because, you know, we all borrow operating funds, right? We borrow money to operate. I do. I'm sure half the guys on here do. There's a few guys that maybe don't, but that's fine. That's great. If you don't have to, you know, you'd be better off not doing a damn thing this coming year. Let these fuckers starve. So, I mean, that's pretty brutal. I mean, it's not the people's fault because the people go home at night. The people that were working so hard to feed for cheap, they go home at night. They turn on CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, MSN, whoever they turn on, even Fox or Newsmax and everything else, and everything's hunky dory for them because they can open up their refrigerator, they can call Grubhub, they can go out to McDucklefucks, they can go to Wendy's, they can go to whatever restaurant that they want to, and the food will be there. It will be there. And they don't have to think or worry about how it got there because it's just there. You know, as some of you may or may not know, I was in New York City a couple of days ago on the 10th. Took my mother in law in to get her dual citizenship. And it's important that she got that. Some people don't believe it is, but um, yes, well, okay, so I was reading some of Timmy Cornpicker stuff, and he's right. If you rent a piece of property and you don't farm it, somebody else, you know, you don't plant it, somebody or cut the hay or whatever you're doing, somebody else will, right? So the other day I got like this detrimental phone call, and it was devastating to be quite honest with you. I have a contract for nearly 5,000 tons of hay. 5,000 tons of hay is a substantial amount of mulch hay. I knew I was going to be a little bit short on the contract, like 4,000 tons, like 1,000 tons short, um, but maybe not. 4,500 would have been probably more on target. So I got a phone call the other day, and I'm in. What am I at? I'm about 2,000 tons in, and the guy says to me, he says, "Well, he says we're not going to be able to take all of your hay. Uh, we're only going to be able to take 1,500 more tons of hay." I was like, "What? What do you mean?" "Well, mushroom business sucks right now, so we're not going to be able to take the hay." "Okay, all right. It's yeah. What are you going to do?" "Well, I can make good hay, you know, but that doesn't do anything for the hay that I've got stacked all over the countryside that is exposed to the elements, that needs to get gone, and I need to get paid for." And it's like, you know, we have a contract, right? We're marked down in the book as having a contract. It is a verbal contract. It was between me and two other guys. So that's a verbal contract. No signed contracts, but a verbal contract. My wife was there as well. She heard what we were going to be doing. So there's four of us that knew what the deal was, and I was quite pleased with that. I wasn't happy about the pricing, but that's what it is. And they can just say, "Nah, sorry about your luck. We're not going to take it." But, maybe in the future we'll take more. I don't know. So what do you do with that? You've got this amount of hay that you need to sell to cover your bills, and you're not getting paid for it. It's taking them 11 weeks now before I'm 11 weeks out. So if I stopped hauling today for 11 weeks, I would receive money that I had for the material, unless they decided not to pay me. I don't know. Maybe that's next on the thing, which will be a big problem because if they go broke, it'll drag a whole bunch of farmers down the tubes with them. So that's just some of the crap that I'm dealing with on a daily basis here. But could you imagine walking into your employer, anybody that's here that is not a farmer, maybe you work for a feed mill, fertilizer plant, or anything like that. You walk into your employer's office, they call you in and say, "Hey, Wesley, come on in here. I need to talk to you. I know you're really going to enjoy what I have to say," sarcastically maybe. And they drop this bomb on you, like, "Oh, by the way, Wes, you've been doing this now for your whole life, and what we're going to do is we're going to make you work every day, just like you always have, and we're going to make it so that at the end of the day, you're not sure if you're even going to be able to cover your bills for what we're going to pay you, and we don't care," right? And yeah, well, you can blame it on Democrats, you can blame it on Republicans. My theory, and this is just a theory, and it's not conspiracy, but it's pretty evident that the current administration in the White House is a vindictive group. They just are. And they didn't have the farmer vote last time. They did not have the farmer vote. And they're not going to get the farmer vote this time either. Years ago when I was young and we had a president, he was supposed to govern for all of us. Whether you liked him or not, it was, "I'm elected, unite the country, everybody's going to have to get behind me, hate me or not. I have to make sure that you're safe in your homes, your borders are secure, the economy is where it needs to be to further the good of the people, and there's less homelessness, less jobless, and plenty of food for everybody to have." Now it's like, "Oh, you didn't vote for me?" East Palestine, Ohio, didn't vote for Joe Biden. Guess what? Major devastation. Burned up, destroyed home values, just destroyed a community. Not a community that carried Joe Biden. A few weeks ago, a boat hits a bridge down in Baltimore. Baltimore is a Joe Biden loving community. Democrat community. Gotta love the Democrats, that's what they do. And we're going to build that bridge back. The government's going to pay 100% to build that bridge. How do you think the East Palestine people feel? You know, it shouldn't be a difference between uh, a supportive group of people to a non-supportive group of people. You're the president of the United States of America. They're all your people, whether they like you or not. You know, it's like going to a restaurant. You got 5 waitresses, and 4 of them you really don't like, but one you really do. When you get one you don't like, do you get up and walk away? Nah, you deal with it and you order your food and you tip her if she does a good job and you don't tip her if she doesn't do a good job. Same thing about the president. East Palestine is not going to vote for Joe Biden. He will not gain any support from those people over there. As a matter of fact, the few people that probably did vote for the idiot are not going to vote for him now. So it just goes on and on. Yeah, Logan, Tim, it's kind of a fucked up deal. The hay people. I hate hay. I'm going to say it. I dislike horse people. I dislike horse people with a passion. I think that they are selfish, self-centered, don't give a damn about the hay guy. I just don't even want to deal with them. I'll deal with brokers before I deal with them. The mulch hay business has been really good to me for the last, for 24 of the 23 of the 25 years that 26 years I've been in this. Um, yeah, 26 years. 26 years of doing mulch hay. 22 of the 26 years. The last 4 years ain't been great. Um, I shouldn't even say that. Yeah, maybe the last 3 years have been a bit of a struggle. Um, yeah, so anyway, it's just the way it is, right? So we voted Donald Trump in the last time, in 2016. I voted for Donald Trump both 2020, 2016, and I'll vote for him again in 2024. And if you don't like that, I'm sorry about yourself. Obviously, you like paying more for cars, more gas, more for food, more for clothing. And I can tell a little story right now. It's very simple. My wife and I have a small embroidery business. I don't advertise it, but this stuff here is now embroidered. If we were to head back into doing clothing and stuff, she would do it, and it would be done by us on our embroidery machines. And she decided that, well, it was offered to her that the school that William goes to was they wanted to do T-shirts, sweatshirts, and things like that, and that was offered to her to do, and she quoted them a price, and it would have given her a small amount of money, not a lot, but a small amount of money, and basically $5 a garment is what she was going to get. So they made the agreement, and for a month and a half or 2 months, they had posted, hey, if you want these shirts, order them before XYZ, and there you go. So 2.5 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, the orders came in. She ordered the clothing, and the clothing went up. It took all of her profit. So each shirt, like this thing here, went up $5. A T-shirt, $2.50. But it just everything went up. She made nothing because her clothing went up. And this is wholesale clothing. This is not, and it's quality. We buy quality. We don't buy junk. So she didn't make any money. She's like, fuck that. I ain't doing that again. I was like, well, you'll probably do the shirts again. It's just you're going to have to charge the ever loving hell out of them. And, there you go. So, anyway, I guess this is enough. I'm about ready to go do another thing that I have to do. This 4430 that's here to my right, I haven't done anything to it. I got sick in the beginning of March. Been sick, still sucking on cough drops. Probably need to get antibiotics because I got this lung thing going on. Might be mild bronchitis. Who the hell knows? I know I run out of air every once in a while. I do get lightheaded because something's wrong, but I'm sure I'll be okay. But anyways, at 4430, I'm 11 and a half weeks out. I don't know if I don't get a check this week, then it'll be 12 weeks. Then it'll be, can't afford to put tires on it. I can start putting the radiator and everything back together, but I wanted to buy a new air conditioning unit to go in there, but I don't know that I'm even going to do that. I might just throw it all back together again, get it started, pump up the tires, and get it the hell out of here until next year because of the way these prices are. It's absolutely insane. Um, yeah, it looked like we were going to be doing pretty good here until this nonsense a couple days back. Really annoying. I I had somebody that wanted me to disc a deer. Oh, I don't do deer plots. Yeah, right. No, $2,000 for that, Tim. Not they're a zero off. I think I know who you're talking about because I might have been the guy that sent them to you. Called me up. Michael was his name, Michael. Anyway, I told him, I said, well, I can do it. I said, but it's going to cost you 2 grand. And he was like, what do you mean $2,000? I said, the vertical tillage machine is $100,000. The tractor to pull it, if I was, I paid right around 110,000 or 100,000 for this thing. So there's $200,000. And you want me to run on my 12, 14, $15,000 worth of tires to go up there and do this? No, I didn't think you would do it. I mean, for $200, you're a zero off, man. These people want you to do a service that they cannot do, and they know that they can't do it for anything less than a tractor and a disc would cost them. And that shit just drives me nuts. I mean, these people think that this stuff is cheap. When you say, I had a guy, oh my God. So I've watched Top Gear, over the years, and years ago they were doing like a Lamborghini or a Bugatti or whatever. And the Lamborghini it was a Lamborghini. I know it was like a $125,000 car. And, I said that I remember commenting saying, oh, well, that's just, $125,000 for a car. You can't even buy a farm tractor for under 300 at new at that time, because they were like, oh, this is the most expensive thing. Guy says, no way is a tractor going to cost you even of no way is a tractor going to cost you $100,000. It's like, this is how far out of touch with reality these people are. So if John Deere's most expensive tractor is $1.1 million, I think. The 9X, what, 815 or 800 or whatever the hell that thing is. It's $1,100,000 for a base tractor. This 8530, this is a 375 horsepower 374 horsepower is what it was dynoed at. Believe it or not, it was dynoed at that. That's crazy. This thing's a beast. It drinks fuel. Yeah, definitely does. But the dyno sheets were in it when I got it, so I know what it was. It's supposed to be 330 horsepower, but it's 374. To replace this tractor, it's $1,500 per horsepower. So what's the cost? 15 times 3 is what? $450,000. So let's just say this tractor to replace would be $450,000. 450 to $475,000. Yeah, $475,000. Are you going to run this $475,000 piece of equipment 5 miles each way, 10 miles, to do a food plot for anything less than $2,000? No, I wouldn't. What? Something about picking up mold? Now, I haven't picked anything up in a tractor cab. I can guarantee you that. But yeah, I don't know, whatever. But these people, they're just out of touch with reality as to what it costs to farm. Like, for real farm, not pretend farm, not green acres on your little 9N or your boomer 9N or whatever they call that thing. Uh, no, we're talking for real farmers. When I was out to Indiana was it Indiana? Indiana last fall, and the I stopped at a tire shop because I needed tires for the grain cart to bring it home all the way from Indiana. And one of the guys was in there and he says, "Yeah, well, my friend just bought a what was it, a 60? No, yeah, it might have been a 64 row planter, 64 row planter, and then took it in, took it home, didn't even take it home, took it to some refab company that puts the precision parts on, stripped all the new John Deere stuff off of a brand new planter that had never gotten to the field, added almost $200,000 in after add-on parts. That's what they did. It's like, so you spend $500,000 on a planter, then you turn around and you spend another 200,000 on it. So when you look at $600,000-700,000 for a planter, to plant corn, where the government employee tells you that you're going to lose money at. Nice. There's one that was held for review. Who was that? Anyway, I am going to go do what I was going to do today. I got to go find my kid, and then I got to go pound some stakes in the ground, and then go meet somebody about a piece of property, and we'll see how that goes. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. Have a thumbs up if you don't mind, and yeah, keep on keeping on. It's going to be a tough summer, tough spring and summer. I just don't see. I got some corn contracted. I do need to contract some soybeans. I don't want to contract a lot of soybeans because I don't know what I don't know what it's going to do. Soybeans can be quite volatile. They can gain 30 cents and drop 40 cents and gain 40 cents and drop 20 cents. You just don't know. My problem is I don't know if we're going to have what kind of a summer we're going to have. If we get a dry summer, then we're going to have purple beans. Purple beans are generally from drought, and the port will not take purple beans. So you kind of got to be careful as to what you do, because if you go into the port with purple beans, they'll reject you, and then you still have to supply the beans you contracted, because they got contracts to China and India and whoever, wherever else in the world that they send these things. So you kind of got to be careful with that. So anyway, with that being said, I think I'm going to bolt on out of here, and you guys can. Somebody's beating on something out there.